Hey, beautiful souls. What a beautiful day it is. I wasn't even planning on doing a Mind Beauty talk, but there's been so many changes with me and what I know with what's actually happening in the world right now. Not what many people think what's happening, but what's actually happening behind the scenes. And this has nothing to do with politics, by the way. I don't really like politics, and I'm not a political person, and I'm not putting it in this group because this is all about mindset and life and really your own personal revolution. So welcome to Mind Beauty Talk. Happy full moon. This full moon is in an Aquarius. Are you an Aquarius? I am an Aquarius. So I woke up so energized. I have energy coming out of everywhere. I'm super energized. I'm focused. I have so much intuition. I woke up with so much more information, and it's absolutely crazy. You have to be completely open-minded to watch these videos, by the way, because with what I'm going to talk about, with the level of consciousness that you're on and your perspective, if you're not open-minded, you're probably just going to turn this off, which is totally fine because our beliefs are ours. You have to understand this is about your own self. This is nothing about anybody else. What I say to you, it'll either resonate or you'll just be like, yeah, no, I don't believe in that, which is totally fine. I totally respect what you believe in. I totally do. I have my beliefs, other people have their beliefs, and what makes us who we are is our own beliefs. There's nothing wrong with that, and I totally respect anybody in what you believe in. But let me tell you something. I went through so much last week. And yes, I'm having my coffee after 11, but I had this crazy sleep. Like I was sleeping for years. This sleep lasted so long. And it's so weird because one, I don't even remember any of my dreams. I normally do remember my dreams, but I don't remember. But I woke up with this, like I rested for years, and I feel incredible. And I will tell you that with this full moon, depending on your frequency and how high you're vibing and all that type of stuff. And not only that, like, I don't know if you're an Aquarius, I don't know if you're a Virgo, I don't know what sign you are, but believe me, it actually has to do with the full moon. So if you really want to know more, really do some research on your own sign and what it means for this full moon. But this full moon is so important, so absolutely important, that it's time to let go. You guys really need to let go. And I'm going to tell you why after I'm done talking about this, but you have to let go. What is happening in the world right now, and you probably are even noticing it. Everybody is unfolding before your very eyes. Now, there's an illusion that's placed in front of that. This illusion is so much hatred and anger and violence and fear. That is an illusion. I want you to remember something. You are pure love. I said this yesterday. You are pure love. Okay? So hate, anger, jealousy, and envy, anything outside of you, anything that makes you feel like negative is not you. So it is trying to get out of your body. So all these emotions, and you guys may or may not notice, but there is a lot of people leaving the world, meaning they're passing away, tons. And it's not just here, it's everywhere. There are so many people. And the way I look at it now is completely different than the way I used to look at it. I used to take everyone else's emotions for that type of thing in and place them on me. And I no longer do that because I know what it means to do that. And I don't want to continue to do this. The goal is to feel your old emotions, all the stagnant and old energy, and release it from the body so you can continue to rise higher and evolve into your authentic self and who you truly are. So all these emotions you're feeling, everything that's just rising to the surface. If you haven't noticed, a lot of people are sick, okay? Well, sick, how you think of sickness and all that type of stuff is completely different on how I think of it now, because really it's just old emotions, it's old energy, and they're symptoms. And really what it is it's just all these emotions that we have been holding on to. And I've talked about this before. So if you're new in this group, let me give you a quick recap on what I've been talking about in this group for a year now. We are all energy. Everything outside of us is energy. We should all know this. We should all know that we're energy and we're very powerful. But what you don't realize is when you're living in the past, which is no longer here anymore, that is old energy. Okay. So that's old energy, and emotions are energy. So if you've held on to old energy, which is old emotions, it's still running through your body. Okay. So negative emotions are toxins. And a lot of people know this, but they don't really think about it on a daily basis because they forget they're on a program from the past, and this and this and this and limited beliefs and just everything that you've paid attention to throughout the past years is what you see only and what you focus on. So if what's happening right now is all these emotions are coming to the surface in the whole planet, by the way, the entire planet, this whole entire planet, the frequency is rising. Your frequency cannot rise with old energy and old emotions in your body. So they come to the surface. And if you don't feel them, you hold on to them, and it becomes very bad for you. It turns into illnesses and diseases, and you manifest it over the years. And what you don't realize is that you've actually been manifesting all your health conditions. That sounds off the wall. And if you don't believe it, you can turn the video off right now. Totally fine. I totally respect what you believe in, because all our beliefs are totally different, and it should be that way. But there is one thing that is truer than anything. We are truly powerful, and we can heal ourselves. We are pure light, pure energy, and pure love. So anything that we absorb into our body that is negative energy, emotions, it is not us. So pretty much we have to let it go. And if we don't let it go, then we hold on to it, and we continue to hold, and they accumulate over the years. And that old energy, and it has to do with the moon phases. You guys, if you don't know really much about the moon phases, I would kind of get to know them now. I would really get to know them now. If you're in this group, it's not a coincidence. You're here for a reason. I'm so grateful you're here. One, because I actually was told to make this group by my guides. I was told to do this, and I've been doing it for a while. I've been going through my own personal revolution for over a year. I'm still going through it, guys. This isn't something that's going to take just a year. This doesn't just take a week. This doesn't take months. This takes time. This is unmemorizing all of your trauma. This is unmemorizing all of your memories with trauma and negative emotions. Like, you're unmemorizing everything that you're familiar with, which is your past this, past that, past everything. So you are unmemorizing it. But the way to do it, the quickest way to do it, is you need to make sure that when these emotions come to the surface, that you actually feel it, because you cannot learn until you feel your pain. You cannot learn from anything until you feel your pain. So if you continue to hold on to these emotions that come to the surface, every moon phase that we go through, because you're connected to the moon, you better believe it. If we continue to hold on to these emotions, they are going to accumulate again and again and again and again. And those are negative emotions, so they're toxins. And just like I've talked about in this group, you are on a program. You are on autopilot from your thought patterns and your feeling patterns. So if you continue to if you don't put awareness on your thought patterns or feeling patterns, you're just going to be this hamster on a wheel going like this and this and this and this. And you don't even realize you can get on the wheel. That's the problem. That's the thing about autopilot. Your body is running the show from your thought patterns and your feeling patterns. So you are the hamster. Literally, it's you. Think of you as a hamster with your face on it. You're in your mind on a wheel, continuing to go and go and go. But not even realizing you are the one that has to get off the wheel to change everything for yourself in your life. So you're the hamster on the wheel. Hate calling you a hamster. Just like picture yourself like this little you in a wheel and going and going. It's a cycle. You're recycling over. It's a cycle. You're spinning and spinning and spinning. You have to take control and get off that wheel. You have to do it. If you don't do it, your emotions are going to accumulate and accumulate and accumulate and accumulate. You're going to manifest illnesses and diseases over time. You're not going to realize this because you're thinking it's your surroundings. You're thinking it's your external environment, but it's your internal environment that's going on because you're ignoring it. You're ignoring the thoughts, meaning you're ignoring the thought patterns. You're ignoring the feeling patterns. There's no awareness on you whatsoever. So it's up to you. It's your responsibility to become aware. Become aware and make sure that know that everything is okay though. You are the captain. You just need to realize you're the captain of your own ship. As of right now, your body's been doing the work for so long. It's been doing a great job, but you're running on E. You've been running on E and you're okay with that. Well, your body is not okay with it. Your body is exhausted from doing all this work, and it's time for you to take control. You have to become aware of yourself. You have to become aware of these thought patterns and feelings patterns that you've been running on since you were a child, since birth. That's when it starts. Our programming starts in the womb, birth, up to 7 or 8 years old. So if you went through anything in childhood with trauma, anything like that, all those experiences, and if you were around anybody in your surrounding areas that projected any of their inner wounds on you, you took those on and you didn't realize that. You took your parents' inner wounds. You absorbed that. You absorbed any wounds from your external environment. So think of it that way. Everything in your external environment, your entire childhood, if anybody projected anything onto you, whether it was on TV, in movies, friends, parents, your parents, grandparents, aunts, uncles, it doesn't even matter. If they projected that onto you, you absorbed that as your own program. It was not your program. Now that you are older or younger, whoever you are in this group, younger, older, it doesn't matter. The time is now to change your own game, change your thought patterns, change your feeling patterns, and then you will become aware of your inner world that has been crumbling and you not even realizing it, because now it's coming outside of you and you're wondering what is going on. Everything used to be so perfect. Well, everybody is unfolding and their emotions, their old emotions, old energy is rising to the surface as symptoms, and they don't want to feel their pain. They want to ignore it. They want to ignore all the symptoms and they want to go to the doctor, they want to get medicine, they want to ignore it all. But it's your responsibility to feel these emotions because it's your body. You have to feel these emotions. Nobody outside of you can heal your inner child wounds. Nobody outside of you can feel your own emotions. So it's up to you to take responsibility to feel yours. So if you're going through something right now, whether it's an illness, disease, anything, any type of health condition, put awareness behind your pain. Don't ignore it. Don't think of it as a burden to you. Don't judge it. And please, please don't react to your pain. Feel the pain. When you start feeling your own pain, and I've been practicing this, even when I stub my toe really hard, step on a Lego, really little stuff. But that's how you have to practice it. You have to practice feeling your own pain. Because when you feel but you have to tell yourself it's okay. This is a mental thing. This is a mental thing. You have to tell yourself it's okay to feel. You have to tell yourself that I am going to learn from the pain. I'm going to listen to my pain. Because if you ignore it and you do the same thing that you've been doing for years by not wanting to feel pain, ignoring your pain, reacting to your pain and acting like you didn't want it, then you're going to continue that cycle and you're never going to feel your pain and you're never going to learn from it, because the pain will not go away until we learn from it. Meaning all those emotions that have accumulated for over the years from your past, if you don't actually feel them, put awareness behind them, you will not learn from them. If you don't feel your pain, it won't leave your body, because that's just the way it works. You can cover it up as much as you want with drugs and going to the doctor and numbing yourself nonstop. But if you don't actually feel your own pain, it's not leaving. It won't leave, and it's your responsibility. And as of right now, with what's happening in the world before our very eyes, everybody is unfolding and their emotions are coming to the surface. That old energy is rising out of the body and it's trying to get out. And the only way it can get out is if everybody takes responsibility for their own emotions and feels them, so they can learn from them and they can let them go. That might have been a lot to take in, but this is a very serious thing. No, don't take life too seriously. But with what's happening right now, everybody's ignoring this. People are not even aware of it because they're not on the same level of consciousness. There's so much happening in the world. People are having their own personal revolution more and more every minute. Everybody's starting to wake up to this, and we're all trying to get it out so we can tell others that it's okay and it's there for a reason, and you need to feel it so you can heal it, and then you can let it go. But the best part about this is an incredible time on this planet. I did not realize this when I first started this group. I was just going through it and going through the motions and just flowing with it. But now I understand that this is a very important time. This is an awareness of consciousness on the planet that's happening nonstop. And you have to understand something about this. It's not about actually going out into the world and telling people this. It's not about, starting protests and all that type of stuff. But if that's your purpose, that's your purpose. If that's something that you want to do, you do it. If it feels right, it's perfect for you. Whatever feels right for you is meant for you. Nobody else, though. Don't listen to anybody else outside of you. If something feels right for you, you have to continue it. If it feels good, if it's a blissful feeling, you have to continue it. But just remember, there is no right or wrong. It's what you think is right, and it's what you think is wrong. That is what matters the most, because everything outside of us doesn't matter. It's a complete illusion. It's all about your own personal revolution. So when I say this, it's about your own personal revolution. Don't take it lightly. You have to go within to change yourself emotionally and put awareness behind your own self and your inner world to change your world outside of you, to attract different, to focus, to see different, to see a complete different world that you've been seeing your whole life. Because when we were young, whether you remember your childhood or not, it was so different then. We didn't pay attention to the bad. We didn't care. And that is because our brain waves were different. Our brain waves are totally different in the stages of our life. When we're a baby, we're like asleep and we just take it all in. We're a sponge. And then our brain waves change as we get older. And then we get to the point where, we're programmable, and then that's our program. And then we're on autopilot from our program, and it just cycles and cycles and cycles. And then when you become aware of that program, you're like, well, why didn't I change? Well, that's because you were never aware of it. And the reason you are becoming aware of it is because you got out of your patterns. You got out of your program. You did that. Now, COVID and all that type of stuff, it doesn't matter, because everybody sat in their uncomfortableness. They sat in their homes. This was a personal revolution time for everybody. It was for everybody. Not many people realize that what happened during COVID was extraordinary. And you guys, I did in the beginning of it, I paid attention to the hatred and the death and the fear, the illusion. But now that I see past the illusion, it's so extraordinary. So much stuff has been happening before our very eyes that we haven't been paying attention to because it wasn't our own. We were seeing from a different perspective. We were, a different level of consciousness. We were thinking at a different level. But then when I got out of my patterns, I started to wake up. I sat in my uncomfortableness. I sat in my darkness. I sat in my demons. I invited them in. I invited them into my space, and it was like so incredible. That is why I started this group, because with what I was going through, I know so many women, I have so many clients, I've seen it, I've felt it. I was like, it's time. Some of these people that do actually want to change their lives, they need to know this. They need to be aware of themselves. They need to think for themselves. They need to feel for themselves. This has nothing to do with how I'm telling you to think. You need to think for yourself. You need to feel for yourself. You need to follow your own bliss. And you need to realize that it's not about anybody outside of you, and it's always been about you. Hold on, guys. All right, sorry about that. The TV just started blasting with the Olympics. But anywho, this is really about you guys. This group was created for your own awareness of yourself, to learn how to think for yourself, feel for yourself, put awareness behind everything about you. That's what this group is about. There's so much beauty in the mind. There really is. But if you're not aware of it, if you're not aware of that you can have beauty in the mind and you can grow, then you are going to be stuck in the same patterns and the same reality that you've always been in. You'll have the same experiences. You're going to continue to have the trauma because you're thinking about your trauma. You're going to attract the same people that you had in your past because you're still living in your past and thinking and feeling in your past. Everything that's familiar to you is in your reality because you have not changed anything about yourself. But in your mind, and this is true because our brain actually protects us from the familiar, or from the unfamiliar, from the unknown. And that's just the way it is. That's the way the brain works. It protects you from the unknown. So you stay in this bubble, in this box for your whole life because your brain is protecting you. Fear scares the crap out of you. Change scares the crap out of you. You don't want to do anything different because it's unfamiliar. And then your brain does not recognize what you're doing seriously from your eyes and the change and the feeling, that it brings you right back to the familiar feeling. And then you feel more comfortable. So this is what you need to do before I end this video. You need to get out of your comfort zone. What's familiar to you is a pattern, and you need to jump out of that pattern. Whatever it is, however small, however big. We can't really do like really big things because you're like, oh, well, I'm just gonna get up and sell my house and move away. Well, lots of people are doing that, by the way. If you've noticed, lots of people are doing that. Start with little things. Change things on a daily basis that you've been doing that you don't even aren't conscious. You're not even conscious of doing it. Like your body just does it. You need to change those patterns. You need to change your thought patterns. And I've helped you with this. I've put affirmations on here. Words are powerful. You can easily rewire new thought patterns. Easy. It's so simple. But to you, because you're on a different level of consciousness, you don't even really recognize, and you can't even take it in because you're seeing from your own perspective. And you really are living from your own perspective and your level of consciousness. So it's really up to you to take charge, get uncomfortable. If you put awareness on you on a daily basis, jump out of it. If you do a pattern, do something different and notice how uncomfortable you feel. If you're driving somewhere and you're used to driving the same way every time, drive somewhere different. Go a different place. Go a different place. If you're driving home from work and you want to go somewhere different, but you're so used to driving back and forth at home. Your body's going to feel uncomfortable, but go somewhere different. Get out of your patterns. Your patterns is a program. Once you start doing it and you just keep doing it, it becomes a program. These patterns, when you do something over and over again, it becomes you. So you need to get out of your own comfort zone. Jump out of that comfort zone. Get uncomfortable right now, because the patterns will continue. The thought patterns will continue. The feeling patterns will continue. Your reality will stay just the way it is until you decide to change yourself within. So it's really all about you guys. It really is. This is not about me. This is not about anybody else around you. It's about you, and you need to focus on you. Everything I talk about, whether it's my own experience, but it's all about you and how you need to think, and you need to think for yourself, because the only way to get out of our own prison, because you're a prisoner in your own minds, to change everything. Cut the cords, cut the chains, get rid of all the attachments that you put your happiness in, change your thought patterns, change your feeling patterns, change all the patterns that you've been doing your whole life. Recognize what you're doing, pay attention to what you've been doing, and change it all for you. You just need to wake up every single day and work on yourself, whether you are just sitting at home or going places. At any moment, anytime, you can work on yourself in your mind all day, every single freaking day. Sitting at home, people think they're not doing, like when you're just watching TV and you're in a program and you are in that reality and you are letting those people that are actors control your emotions, really think about that. They're controlling your emotions. You're letting them control your emotions. And then you're putting out negativity into the universe, which is what you're going to get back. So every single movie you've ever watched and you've let react to your, control your emotions, and you reacted to those movies, that became you. And I want you to think about that, because when I realized that, I was mind blown. I couldn't believe it. I'm like, we've been watching these movies our whole lives, being in fear, the anger, the hatred. But here's the thing though, that also has to do with triggers. But if you are putting out negative energy because you're reacting to these certain movies and these actors and how they're acting, which is not them, you're putting out that negative energy just from living in that movie and that reality, and letting that all their emotions that are fake make you feel a certain way. And then you put that in the universe, and law of attraction states what you put out, you get right back. So you need to learn how to control your emotions. Learn how to not react. Learn how to not let everything in your external environment control your emotions and control how you think and how you feel. And once you learn how to do this, which I've taught you, I've told you, I've guided you to this, pay attention, put awareness on yourself. And when you continue to do this, this is raw and real, guys. This is raw and real. This is a real group. This isn't bullshit. This is something that we've all needed to know about ourselves our whole lives, but we have just been stuck in our own box that we placed on ourselves. And it's up to us to really take the box off and break that box down. We need to break it down, and we need to be liberated from our own minds, because we've been a prisoner in our minds since the beginning of our time, which we don't even know how many lifetimes we've lived. When you become aware of yourself, that's an extraordinary thing, but it's very common. It's not something to think you're special about, because there's nobody below us and nobody above us. We're all the same. Nobody's different. We can do anything anybody else can do, and we can create anything we want. We can have as much money as someone else wants, but it's realizing that what we search for outside of us is nothing compared for what's inside of us. We're searching for something outside of us. We're searching for love. We're searching for peace. We're searching for all this stuff, but it's been inside of us our whole lives, and we've ignored it. And as we get older, we start going through stuff. We go through a midlife crisis. It's because we realize that everything we've bought, everything we had in our reality did not cover up how we feel about ourselves. They don't take away those negative emotions that we've always felt within. And it's because our external environment can't do that. We can buy all this stuff. We can buy all this stuff. We could have all these people in our lives. We could put our happiness outside of us for our whole lives. But at the end of our time, when we leave this world, we'll still be stuck with those same inner emotions, inner child wounds, and lack within, because we didn't put self-awareness on us. It's serious. It is very true. When we leave this world, and if we did not put self-awareness on us, if we didn't heal our wounds, everything's going to be stripped from us. Everything in our reality is going to be stripped from us when we leave this world, when our time is done. But we'll still have a lack within that we feel for ourselves, because we were looking outside of us in this lifetime, and we never learned that our happiness and joy came from in. Everything that we needed, or we ever needed, that we thought was outside of us and we went searching for our whole lives, was right here and inside you as well. So I hope this kind of just guided you today and made you realize that there's a lot more going on in the world than all the hate and the violence and the fear and what you're actually focused on. And the reason why you're focused on that is because you have some inner bottled up emotions that you haven't attended to. And what we focus on grows. So if you feel a certain way inside and all this stuff is coming into your reality, death, if you're paying attention to so much death and you're paying attention to the fear and hatred and violence, and if you know, and all this stuff is, you think it's a coincidence, but no, that's energy. It's coming into your reality because the energy you're putting out that you feel for yourself is coming right back to you. And all it's trying to do is get your inner child wounds, your inner emotions to come to the surface for you to finally feel them, heal them, and let them go. And the more you feel, the more you heal, the more you let go, the more you will rise. The lighter you will feel, because you have baggage, you have accumulated all these emotions throughout the year, and it's time to let go. But until you realize that your happiness comes from right here, everything you've ever needed is right here inside you, then your reality will stay just the way it is. You'll pay attention to everything outside of you that you feel within you. And then you won't understand, because you'll be paying attention to your surroundings and what everyone else is doing and what's happening with them and what's happening in the world and everyone else's trauma but your own. So pay attention to yourself today. Focus on yourself. I want you to focus on yourself every single day. I'm reminding you of this. I can't do Mind Beauty Talk videos every day, but I'll do as many as I can, so you will become self-aware of what's happening inside you, your own trauma, not everyone else's. And let me say that one more time. If you continue to pay attention to all the trauma outside of you in your external environment, that will grow, and you will only focus on what's wrong in the world, the hate in the world, the sadness in the world, and the death in the world, and the fear in the world, because you're not attending to your own inner child wounds, and you haven't for so many years. So now it's your time. You're in this group, you're aware, and you know what to do. If you don't know what to do and you're not aware, that's okay. You may not be aware. You may not be meant to be aware in this lifetime. It's your journey. You have to attend to your own journey. But don't attend to anyone else's journey. Don't pay attention. Attend to your own. Attend to your own inner child wounds. Pay attention to yourself, your inner world, because if your reality is crumbling around you, and I mean crumbling and exploding, and you can't handle it, you can't handle the utter madness and chaos, that means your inner world is going like this. It's going down. It's blowing up. It's all over the place. It's exploding. And your inner world on how you're feeling comes out into your reality. So how do we change our reality? We change our inner world. I hope it helped you guys today. I hope it guided you. But remember, it's a full moon. Everything is coming to the surface. This energy this full moon is trying to take all of these energies out of people. People are unfolding. People are going nuts. If you really researched it, you would notice that during a full moon is when stuff happens more than not. Crime, death, people are unfolding before your eyes. Now that I'm aware of this, I do understand it more, and it does make more sense. But it's really up to you to focus on yourself. Follow the moon phases, because the moon phases actually pertain to us and we do relate to them. And the moon, we have phases just like the moon. But if you realize how the moon phases were, you'd realize that you can actually let go and do what you're supposed to do during the moon phases. And it's so much more simple than you've actually been taught to believe. And life is way more simple than you've been taught to believe. I'll tell you what's not simple. What's not simple is living in the program, your old program, and being a prisoner in your own mind and running off old thought patterns and feeling patterns that were not yours in the first place. That's not simple. And it's up to you to get out of that program and break free from your own mind. So you guys have an amazing rest of your Sunday. Please, practice gratitude. Gratitude, gratitude, gratitude. Be grateful for what you have right now. Everything in front of you right now, you are so blessed. Do not think about what you do not want into your reality, or else you will get more of it. Do not focus on what you do not want, or that will grow and you'll get more of what you don't want. And try to be more understanding with people in your surrounding areas. Meaning your external environment, all these people coming into your reality is either a guide or a lesson. Remember that. But there are also people who are not self-aware, and it takes a long time for people to become self-aware. They may never become self-aware in this lifetime, and be more understanding with them during that process. You're in the process, they're in the process. They're dealing with their inner emotional wounds from childhood that they're projecting out into their external environment, and they're not aware of it. Just like how you projected your inner child wounds in your external environment to everyone else. When we become aware of it, we can control ourselves and how we react to others and how we react to ourselves. But what we cannot control is our surrounding areas. We cannot control others, and we cannot control how they act, how they think, or what they do. So remember that, and remember, this is just life. You get to live it. You get to live in this moment for what it is and enjoy what you have right now. So enjoy it, live it, and love everything about your journey that you're in. You guys have an amazing rest of your day. And remember, it's a full moon. If you're feeling energized, use this energy in this present moment to create the life of your dreams. If you are exhausted, your emotions are coming to the surface. Feel everything. Emotions are energy, and they need to flow through you. Energy has to flow. It's a law. Let them flow through you like a river. Don't react. Don't judge. Don't hold on. Let them go and be free from your own inner trauma. Bye, guys.